Hey everybody, how you doing? This is about to be a really fun video. If you're new to the show, make sure you're subscribed. I got tons of videos coming out pretty much every day. I try to have a new video every day. But if you've been watching the show, you've been seeing me do a video series called Will It Hunt, where I basically take you through a cartridge and a quick setup, get it sighted in at 100 yards, then I go over hunting distances, energy, speed, drop, and we go hunting on steel at different distances and just have a quick discussion about energy and how far could you and should you take that particular cartridge hunting. Well, today we're talking about 223. I'll give you a quick up close look at this setup. This is my Ruger American Gen 2 in 5.56. This is the ranch model, so it's got a shorter barrel, 16-inch barrel and some change. The barrels on these are fluted. On the end, I've got my Banish 223 can. It's a great time to get into suppressors if you never had one. The wait time is under 2 weeks. Yeah, I've got another one in the mail coming. Anyways, that's the Banish 223. On top, I've got a Hawk, and I actually forget what this one's called. But the interesting thing about this one is it is a drop reticle. So it has markings inside the reticle for 200 yards, 300 yards, so on and so forth. So it has holdover marks built into it for 223 specifically. So that's why I put this scope on here. Ammo we're going to use today. Normally my go-to for 223 and doing precision stuff is going to be this. I've got several videos doing awesome groups with this. And this is what I would pick if you said, hey man, let's stretch out some 223 and have some fun. This is what I would pick. But this is my only box I got left on it. I got to get some more of it. But what I got more of is more of a hunting round, which is what we should be using for this video series anyways, is some of this Remington Premier AccuTip in 223. It's a 50 grainer with a varmint projectile on it. I took this ammo to Wyoming after some prairie dogs, and that's an awesome video. If you want to see 223 versus prairie dogs and how this stuff performs hunting, go check out that video. But first thing we got to do is verify our zero at 100. I haven't had this thing out in probably like a year, so let's do that first. Let's get a group at 100. I'm guessing I'm gonna have to tweak the scope just a little bit. Then we'll re-zero the turret. We'll get some speeds on the chronograph, and then we'll start stretching it out, having some fun, talking about drop. It's gonna be a fun video. Check it out. Let's get to it. Also, this is a 3:9 by 42, so we're working with 9 zoomies in this entire video here. All right, I'm gonna aim center of that bottom plate down there. I got paper plates down there. Been a minute since we used the plates as targets. Here we go. Focus on my squeeze here. Hidden high. I'm gonna go ahead and adjust for that. Is this MOA or mils? MOA. So 4 clicks an inch. What do you suppose that is, 1.5 inches? I could just click it to the spot, huh? So we need to go that way. 8 clicks got me to about where that hit was. It's to the right, so I need to go left. We lock the top turret in. Left is going to be that way. And it did about 4 clicks or so that way. Let's see if this one gets us closer to the bullseye here. Well, left and right's pretty good, but we came too far down. Last time I grouped this stuff, I went back and looked at the last video when I had this stuff out. They got like a 0.6 inch group, so I'm pretty confident in this ammo out of this rig. So I'm gonna bring it up about 3 clicks. Send another one. See where this hits. I'm trying to be soft on my grabbing my brass here, but this thing's wanting me to rip it. I guess I'll just start flinging them on the ground. Well, it hit about the same spot. Now I'm gonna do a group The same plate, but the top left little plus sign I drew on there. Yeah, that's 3/4 of an inch group. I'm gonna come 1 click to the right. And how many up do I need to come? I'd say 3 clicks up. You suppose? And I don't want to be sitting here doing group testing all day, because that's not the point of this video, but I'm going to send one into the bottom right plus sign of that plate and just see how close we are. Somebody said, you could have done all this before the video. Well, the way that I film my videos, I try to be like you're just out here hanging out with me. So that's how I'm filming it. So those two are in there pretty close. I'm gonna come up 1 more click and then we're gonna leave it. So I'm gonna go grab that camera. Next thing I'm gonna do is get a chronograph speed. Then we're gonna start stretching it out on some steel, and I'm gonna show you the drop chart and everything that I'm doing with it and all the energy at different distances. And sent one through the chronograph. I got 3208. If you're doing some super specific stuff, you're gonna get a bunch of readings and take the average, but what we're doing here today, I'm just gonna grab this one and run the numbers, 3208. All right, now just to call it out, your barrel length is gonna determine the amount of speed. Now these, if you go to Remington's website, these 50 grainers, they list it as 3,400 feet per second, which is accurate if you have a longer barrel. This is a 16-inch barrel, so this is going to be similar speeds to what you'll get out of this stuff out of an AR. 3208 is the numbers that I plugged in for this drop chart and these energy charts. But if you do have a 22-inch barrel, 223, then you can get those 3,400 feet per second speeds out of this stuff. But for what I've got here today with this rig, 16-inch barrel, I plugged in 3,208 feet per second. The G1BC is 0.242. And these are the numbers. We dialed it dead on at 100. The next step, we're going to go to 200. So based on this chart, it's going to drop 2.39 inches. Or I could dial 1.14 MOA. Or I could dial 0.33 mils for 200 yards. Also, this says at 100 yards, this ammo's got energy of 885 foot-pounds. At 200 yards, where we're about to go, it's down to 677 foot-pounds of energy. But let me set up the camera at the 200 yard steel. Again, this is only going to drop 2.3 inches, but I'm still going to dial it. Actually, for giggles, since we do have this drop reticle, I'm going to send one with the drop reticle, just so I know and have documented that it works or doesn't work. And then I'll start dialing and we'll start stretching it out. But let me get that long range camera set up. And again, just to show you everything that I'm doing and bringing you guys along with me, I just zeroed the turrets on this now that we got it dead on at 100. So when we go to dial, I won't have to remember weird or odd numbers. I can bring it back to 0. And I did the side there as well. I'm not going to be dialing any of that today, but we're going to be dialing this. So we're ready to go. To dial this hawk, you just pop it up and then say it's for 2 MOA. Boop, 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 boop. Lock it back down and then send it. So just to show you, I got this thing zeroed and that's how we're going to be dialing it. On this particular scope, it's just take the 3 little screws out, take the cap off, put it back down on 0 and lock it back down. But let's send some at 200. All right, now 200 yards on 223. So like I said, it's only dropping 2 inches and some change. So realistically, if you were in a hunting scenario, you know, you could still hold on that coyote or whatever and you'd get them. But I'm gonna try real quick. Is that the right ear? The reticle for this. I'll pop up a picture of this reticle if I can find it on their Hawks website. So you guys can see the reticle that I'm looking at. Let me try to pop that up real quick. If you missed the video, I just verified all these targets, exact ranges with this rangefinder. This is a super budget friendly rangefinder from WHOTEEWHO. If you need a discount on WHOTEEWHO stuff, they got a bunch of outdoor stuff, blinds and rangefinders and camo and stuff like that. WHOTEEWHO 20 code will get you 20% off a bunch of WHOTEEWHO stuff, so go check them out. But here we go. I'm gonna try using the holdover reticle first. Y'all hear my rooster? That rooster's name is Big Boy. All right, holdover reticle. The sun is behind the target, so it's not gonna be perfectly bright, but we'll still be able to see it. Here we go. Make sure my can is tight. Sending with the reticle before we dial. And we got a hit. Just using the holdover in the reticle. Now, let's dial it, just because we did all that work on the chart and stuff. After 200, we're definitely going to dial. But normally at 200, you can just hold over whatever the drop was. What's the dial going to be? For this 223 data we put in, the dial for 200 yards is 1.14. So you don't have 0.1 in MOA, you do in mils, but so I'm just going to put that up to 1.25. So I'm going to pull this up and do 5 clicks on the MOA scale. Lock it down. And now since we dialed it, we can hold dead center of that target. So let's go ahead and just send 3 more into that. And since I dialed it, now I'm holding dead center. Send 3 real quick. See, it looks like that hit was more precise than the holdover mark, wasn't it? Yeah, so with the dial, we're hitting more center of the target, whereas the holdover, I think I smacked the top of that steel. This is fun. Let me just do another one. Come on, man. This is a lot of fun. Boom. That's fun. Now, that was 200. That was too easy, wasn't it? We're going to start having even more fun. What dial do we need for 300 yards? In MOA, it's 3.35. So I'm going to go ahead and average that again to a 3.5 dial. Lock it in, and we're dialed for 300. Now, the further you go out, the more it's crucial to get a really good speed average. So 300, 400, 500, you're going to want to get a really consistent load, a good small tight group, and a good speed average where you're not all over the place. But yeah, I'm gonna let this cool for just a minute, and then we're gonna go out to 300. Should be pretty cool. All right, now at 300 yards, I have a deer target, the Caldwell AR 500, 33% size. So it's 1/3 the size of a real deer. I'll go down there and show you here in a second how big that target actually is. It's not a very big target. The steel's only like that tall. And in theory, our dial here should get us dead on. So I was using the lead slip before. At 300, I brought out this rest. It's called the Rock BR in my little rear squeeze bag. Let's see what we can do here. Really focus on what I'm doing here. Do a good squeeze and send them right where we want them. Again, this is only a 3 to 9 power scope. I've got it dialed for this 300. I'm gonna hold right in the vitals on that deer. I got some shadows in the background, but you should be able to see on my zoom camera what's going on. I do my best here, only 9 power zoom. Hey, first round hit. Hit slightly right of where I was aiming, but that's cool. That's a small target. Hey, 2 in a row. We're doing something half decent right, aren't we? Again, that is not a full-size deer target. I'll show you here in a bit. Oh, we missed one. See, that's what I get for talking and being cocky. Just gonna keep holding vitals and sending them. Man, this is fun. Man, I'm stacking them in there. Stacking them in there. See, every time I start yapping, I send a miss down there. Oh yeah. Well, hey, let's run down there and look at those targets. I could sit here and do this all day. This is fun. But get your speeds, make the chart, dial your clickies, level rest, focus on your squeeze, clean trigger brake. Man, I love doing this stuff. I'm gonna put it back down to 0. Let's go look at those targets quick. All right, so here is my 8-inch gong at 200 yards. That top of the plate, that's where I hit using that holdover reticle, but then those 4 right there, that's what I got from using the dial. So slightly high, but man, that left to right is good. That's probably a, I don't know, 2.5, 3-inch group I got there at 200 yards. Let's go look at that 300-yard deer. And then here's my 1/3 size deer target. I don't know where my misses were, but see how the small this target is, my hand can get the whole top to bottom. So this is not a terribly easy target to hit, especially at 300 yards. But I was holding here and then grouping right there. So how big is that across? Oh, that's probably a 3.5, maybe 4-inch group at 300 yards. Not too shabby with some 50 grain varmint ammo, but that's a whole lot of fun. Man, at 300 yards, we'd hit that groundhog every time. That is a lot of fun. But hey guys, appreciate you watching. There is the 16-inch barrel 223 version of the Will It Hunt video series. Hope that helped you out. Again, this is about the same barrel length as an AR. If you're using that varmint type 50 grain stuff, or even something remotely similar, your drops to these distances and the dials are gonna be pretty close. Regardless with what you got or what you're hunting with, you gotta make sure you know what you're doing. So when you squeeze a trigger on that deer or whatever, even a piece of steel like we got out here today, that you're confident in what you're hitting. When we're slapping the steel, especially once you get past 200, anybody can hit 200. I could teach my grandma to hit 200 with her eyes closed, but getting out further, man, that really puts a smile on my face. But if you need help with your particular rig, check out the playlist. We might have already done your favorite cartridge. If not, definitely comment down below and let me know what you want to see. As always, feel free to DM me. I'm serious. Instagram or Facebook or email me. I am happy to take the time to walk you through your rig to come up with this setup or what have you, or answer any questions to help you figure out this drop chart with your particular rig, regardless of what you're trying to do. So make sure you're following me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all the things. DM me. I'm always happy to help. I answer all my messages every single day. Before we end the video officially, I'm gonna pop up this picture on the screen one more time. So sighted in at 100, at 150 it drops 1/2 inch, then going down 200 drops 2.5, 250 drops 5.5, 300 our last thing here on the deer, we were dropping 10.5 inches. So technically I didn't have to dial. I could have just held 10 inches over where I wanted the impact to be, but it's always more precise to dial. I like to dial. Then all the way out to 500 yards, I've got the MOA dials, the mil scope dials there. At 500 yards, this setup is exactly 10 MOA or 2.9 mils. That's a whole lot of fun. But hey, appreciate you watching. Like I said, let me know what you want to see next time. Always feel free to message me with any questions. Appreciate y'all watching the show so much. Share the videos with your friends. That really means a lot and helps me out. Appreciate y'all. We'll see you on the next one. Hoo-doo!